Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. It's been a lovely sunny day today, nice day. I haven't been outside, I don't really know how warm it is, but I opened the windows in my living room because it was cold in this house. And that seems to help actually, because since we had double glazing put in and then that insulation stuff in the walls, the heat from outside doesn't come into the house anymore like it used to before. But you know, according to the app on my phone, we're supposed to have sunshine right up until 7 o'clock, no rain or anything like that. 4 o'clock, it's nearly 5 o'clock now, it's about 4:45. At 4 o'clock it got darker and darker, and then I could see the water streaming down the windows. I was thinking to myself, oh, I've had a couple of nice days, it's been drying the garden up. I think I'll probably be able to go out tomorrow and get the power tools out and cut my hedge in the back garden. But that rain has just spoilt things, hasn't it? Because things don't dry up as quick now, when it does rain, with it getting a little bit colder and not as much sun. But I'll see tomorrow. I'll just have a quick test and check the hedge and see what it's like. I might just pull a few weeds up because I haven't been doing any gardening since the last decent weather we had. So I do need to finish pulling all the weeds up. The little bit garden I've been digging over, I might try and finish that because it's not take very long. It's only one little corner of the area that I was working on, but there's still a lot of weeds, and I have an old patio behind my outhouse where my husband used to work at one time when he was still alive, and he used to do woodwork and whatever he was doing, use saws and everything, and he used to use it on there, and it was just all big paving slabs. Well, they're full of weeds. The weeds has been coming up between them, you know, those dandelion ones that go, the roots go right down. No way, you can never get them all out, but they are full of weeds. I could do with pulling some of them out and get rid of some of the rubbish actually that's there. But anyway, that's enough of the weather. And you know, I would have had this video done about an hour ago. I'm busy having a cup of tea here as well. I'm going to drink it before it gets cold. Oh, and it's just happened again. I thought I was messing on with my computer with the camera. The sun has just suddenly come out really bright the window, so the video's gone really bright. But I was messing about, and I first switched it on, it was like this, far too bright, and I couldn't get it to go off. Didn't matter what I did. I'm going to have to put my tablet on to finish this video as the sun's come out. I'll try and put it on and see. Oh, it's gone off again. But the least movement and it brings up this brightness, and it hasn't been affecting it lately, and I thought there must have been some updates in the drivers and things, you know, on your computer. Not maybe there's been something with the camera, but it's just proved me wrong just a few minutes ago. I'll check see what it's like here, because sometimes it affects my tablet as well, which is what I'm using here. Put it on my computer in front of the... Oh, it's not so bad on there. There, that's better on my tablet. I prefer my computer because the video goes straight into the computer, and all I have to do is to edit it is to find it in the computer. But when I do it on the tablet, I have to transfer it into the computer, and then sometimes I can't find it in the computer. But anyway, I'll sort it out. But like I'm saying, I was talking about the weather, and sun suddenly came out and really spoilt my video. But there seemed to be, the sunshine hasn't been bothering my videos much lately, but for some reason I switched the camera on today on my computer and it wouldn't come on. It was just all black, the screen. And I thought, oh, maybe I need to restart the computer because it had been on all morning. So I restarted the computer and that little circle on the black screen was just going round and round and round and round. Would not come on. It was about 5 minutes. It usually comes on in a few seconds. So the only thing I could do, I had to crash the computer to get it to come, to try to get it to come back on, and it came on without any trouble. So I don't know whether it's something to do with the switch in the computer where you restart the computer. There's something to do with that. I'll have to try it again sometime to find out whether it's the little thing you press when you shut your computer down and all that. You have a lot of options and restart's one of them. And that's what I thought, that's what I did. Only it didn't work, it just kept going round and round and round and round. And like I said, I had to crash the computer. And then when the camera came on, it was just so bright. It had never been that bright for quite some time. It seems to have been working a lot better until that happened. So I don't know whether it's something up to do with the computer, but I'll probably be using my tablet from now on if it's going to be like trouble like that. But anyway, I am knitting this is the second one for Daggery in the United States that I'm doing. And I started this off, when I finish this row and I can turn it around, you can see it better because I'm knitting nearly to the end of the row. But I'm normally doing a 24, and I thought this is something that you might wear, you know, a child might wear on the top of a cardigan or something. I thought I'd do a 26. So I'm nearly at the end here. And this wool I'm using is Hayfield's, the bonus wool. I've used quite a lot of that wool before and it's always been nice and lovely and soft. But this seems very hard. Don't know what it is. It's hard to knit. And it comes out sort of stiff, like I have knitted another cardigan in it. And I did wash it because I didn't like how stiff it felt. It does soften up when it's washed. But it's very sort of stiff and hard to knit with. But anyway, this is the one I'm doing. I was intending doing a 26, but I tried to do a swatch with this, but you cannot do a swatch to get it to come out right with this, because this pattern here, this part here is Irish moss stitch. Now when you knit that by itself, it comes out bigger. If you were knitting, I've knit a sweater for myself, and I wanted a 40 for myself, and I've knitted with this before as a 40, and it came out a 44, more like a 46 actually. So I knitted again. I gave that one away to a relative, and I knitted again. And this time I knitted it to a 38, I think it was. No, I did it to a size 36, and it came out a 40. So when you knit this by itself, it comes out a lot larger than if you're knitting stocking stitch. And then this bit here, when you're doing cables, where you have like, this is like a bit of rib, is like knit 2 and then purl 2 here before you get onto the cable. That's a bit like a rib that pulls it in. And then you have the cable twisting, that pulls it in again. And then there's a bit more like here, so that's done twice over there and over there. So I thought if I'm doing a 26, I wasn't sure what size it was going to come out. So I put the stitches on. I've got the pattern down here that I'm writing. I've done it for a 26 and I've put 87 stitches. No, I put 81 stitches, and for the rib on the bottom I've done 81 because I thought this part here is going to spread out, so it's going to make the rib wide as well. So I only put 81 stitches on, and I increased it after I'd done the rib. I increased it so I had 87 stitches to match up with the way this pattern's going to work out. and I think it's hard to measure it at the because I haven't done I did have a tape measure here a little while ago. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, there it is. It's under my table. Hard to measure it at the moment. I would have to have it done thingy. But that back measures 14.5 inches. It's going to come out more like a 28 actually. So I think I'm going to knit so far up and see what size it's looking like. Because once I start decreasing on the armholes, I'll be able to get a better measurement, but I can't do that until I know what length I'm going to knit it. So I might be knitting it to a 28, so this might not be the one I'm doing for Dagry. Because that little girl's only 3 going on 4, so I think that size is going to be far too big. I would have done a 26 up to the length for her, but this is going to be a lot wider. This is the one I need to do a lot more practice with, this type of pattern, to get the things right. That's why I have to knit things before I make out the pattern. So anyway, that's a little bit about that. And I have been doing some crochet this morning. This is the one I'm doing for my sister. I'll pull the hook out. I'll put the wool inside and put the hook in to keep it together. Right on there. Put the wool on the floor there, and then it can stretch. And there. So that's how far I've got with that. I am just crocheting this. I'm not folding it this way. I'm folding it this way. Because when I'm crocheting this, I can do whatever size I want. I can keep on crocheting to whatever size I want. Whereas if I'm going upwards, it's hard to get the right size. So that size, it depends what you start off with, because the number of stitches, I started off with this with 40. I made a 46 chain. I'm using a 4mm hook, and I used a 46 chain. Now when you do a chain and you measure it, I want this to measure about 8.5 inches across. Well, it'll be across this way when I've finished. I want it to measure 8.5 inches because I have a zip somewhere to put on it. Oh, there, that's under my table as well. That's a zip to put on it, so it's going that way, the zip. So I have to do a little bit more, but I am doing white around, and I'm going to put some blue around and then some more white around, and that'll make the right measurements for the zip to go across that way. But when I started off with 46 stitches, working with 45 because one's for turning. And when you do the chain, you can't measure it, because once you start crocheting, you do 2 or 3 rows. It might have measured, say, 9 or 10 inches, but when you've done a few rows, it comes in. That's why I like to do it this way, so it doesn't make any difference about the width, because I'm working that way. It doesn't matter, I'm doing a few more rows to add to the width of it. But anyway, I have a few more to go around with the white. I've just started going around with the blue, and it's just a simple pattern. All it is double crochet, and I am doing 2 double crochet into 1 stitch, missing a stitch, and then 2 double crochet into another stitch, missing the stitch. So it's 2 double crochet, miss 1, 2 double crochet, miss 1, 2 double crochet, miss 1, and it gives you a nice effect, a sort of like a flower type, like a flower bud type effect. And I like it, do it that way because it gives you the lines going down. That's why I like it that way. So this is the one I'm doing for my sister anyway, and I could have probably had that finished if I'd got up sooner this morning, but I woke up about 7 o'clock this morning, which is about my normal time for getting up, for waking up anyway. I don't normally get up till nearly 8 o'clock, but I had to get up to go to the loo, didn't I? And I went back to bed and thought, oh, I'll just have another half hour in bed. Well, that half hour turned into 3 hours. It was 10 o'clock the next thing I knew. So if I'd been up my normal time, I would have had a couple of hours crocheting on this, and I would have had the actual crochet part of it finished. Where I have to do the bag for the inside of it after that. So I'll definitely have it for Thursday, and I'll be calling my sister and tell her that, as she lives up near where, well, it's a little way past where my me and my friend go for bingo in a place called Crochet. That's where we go in for the bingo. She lives a little bit further on, which is heading on the wall. So I'll probably just message her and tell her I'll bring it up to her before I pick my friend up for the bingo, and then I'll have to come back down again to pick my friend up for the bingo. But that's enough about me confusing you with that. I get back to my knitting, and I have still a little bit of tea left in here I'm going to finish. It's just slightly warm, so I finished it all up. And I'm going to make my tea shortly anyway, so that's it for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another day. So bye for now.